Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. Within this city's borders, bills are drafted, laws are passed, and many, many gallons of liquor are consumed. To thousands of tourists, Washington, D.C. is comprised of monuments, cherry blossoms, and outrageously expensive condominiums. But most D.C. natives agree that there is a dark legend ruling this city, folklore that has never been discussed in public, until now. Legend has it that the Lobsterboy, part man, part lobster, was first spotted exiting a sewer drainage pipe in Rock Creek Park sometime in the mid-1990s. The first, and some of the only, grainy footage ever shot of the Lobsterboy indicates that he is of staggering proportions, most experts agreeing somewhere between 8.5 and 10 feet tall. It is generally accepted that the Lobsterboy has modified gills that require vast amounts of distilled liquor to sustain function. Although Lobsterboy appears to be a pervasive piece of DC folklore, I found it quite difficult to convince anybody to speak about him on film. Oh, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Hi, I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about Lobsterboy and what you might know about him.
No comment on that.
Well, but I've heard that he's actually frequents this area and that he buys beer down at the corner store.
You can
and
neither confirm nor deny the existence of a Lobsterboy. Now, you're on federal property. I have to ask you to leave.
Oh, okay. Since the man wasn't of any help, it soon became clear that I would have to dig much, much deeper to find the truth behind the legend. For if I were to truly uncover the myth, the mystery, the legend that is Lobsterboy, I would need an insider.
I am out here seeking one of the most exotic creatures in the world, Lobsterboy. He is half boy and half lobster. Some people don't think that he exists. I know he exists. The Park Service will deny his existence. There are a lot of people out there who are going to tell you that he doesn't exist, but but they're a bunch of goddamn liars, and they're trying to cover up the fucking truth is what they're trying to do. So I'm here right now to show you that that there is proof of his existence. We're gonna go find it. Come on, let's go.
Johnny Jupiter, DC folklorian and self-proclaimed lobsterologist, has been tracking the movements of Lobsterboy for the past 5 years. Although his obsession has resulted in mild dementia, Jupiter is still considered the leading expert in lobsterology. Throughout the weeks I spent with Johnny Jupiter, I became more and more convinced of the existence of Lobsterboy. Perhaps it was the overwhelming evidence presented by Jupiter. Over the years, Johnny has developed quite a knack for finding pearls of evidence within the woods. Or perhaps it was the copious amounts of LSD that Jupiter laced most of my meals with, leaving me in a drug-induced stupor. Whatever the reason, it soon became clear to me that Johnny Jupiter knew what he was talking about, and we were very, very close to finding Lobsterboy. Although Johnny Jupiter has dedicated his life to finding the actual Lobsterboy, many Washingtonians believe in a more existential Lobsterboy. Taking their cue from Native American culture, they interpret the Lobsterboy legend as a metaphor for their day-to-day life in an urban setting. These people believe that much like the Lobsterboy, they have a hardened exterior to protect them from everyday life while their soul remains soft, vulnerable, and untouched.
I am not worthy of seeing him in the shell, so to speak, but I make it a point of spending the last few minutes of every day before my personal lobster shrine, and I never go anywhere without my own personal lobster totem. This is truly one of my most treasured possessions, and on truly special evenings, he comes to visit me in my dreams.
Stupid hippie. After the unexpected videotaping of the late 1990s, Lobsterboy was able to remain under the radar and virtually invisible to Washington, D.C. until 2001, when Johnny Jupiter began his quest. By the time I met Johnny, it was crystal clear that the lobster would soon be exposed to the world, and Jupiter would be the one to do it.
Oh, sweet mother, here it is. Look at this beautiful mold. It's complete. It's right here. It's just complete. Oh, it is so beautiful. Oh, look at the antenna. It's fully intact. He's just molded. He's an adult. Oh, I mean, this is fully grown. This is really unusual to see in the wild. Oh, look at that. Oh, that smells so good. Oh, it smells like a mixture of bratwurst, malt liquor, and salt water, strangely. I just want to ride on his coattails. Oh, that is beautiful. So I've been out here for 5 months now, and it's pretty much the end of the season for finding Lobsterboy, but I will be back next year. This is something I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
After his exciting discovery of Lobsterboy's exoskeleton, I began to worry about Jupiter's safety. Was he chasing the lobster, or was the lobster chasing him? Even Johnny seemed to have questions about his own fate.
Although I have a feeling that outside forces are onto me, that they're trying to destroy me. This may be some of the last you ever see of me. This may be the last bit of footage that's ever taken of Johnny Jupiter. I know, it's terrible. They're trying to destroy the lobster, but I'm here to protect him. Nobody else understands the lobster boy. Nobody. Only I understand him. This is my life's work. You see this? You see this? It's so beautiful. But the corporations don't understand. The Park Service doesn't understand. Nobody understands me. I mean, there's nothing up here but meth labs and hillbillies and white power militias. And me. Me against the fucking world. Fuckers. Fuck all.
A week after I left Johnny Jupiter in the woods, he vanished. Even the park police had no idea of his whereabouts. As the weeks turned into months, I began to wonder if I had been a pawn, if maybe it was all just Johnny's crazy game. I had almost forgotten about the legend of Lobsterboy until the morning I opened my door, and instead of receiving the Washington Post on my porch, I received an unmarked package. This package contained one videotape with the ominous instructions penned on the front. Watch me. What I then witnessed was so unbelievable, so tragic, so violent that watching it might cause a sane person to vomit. To show this video would be completely unethical and go against everything I stand for as a documentarian. And here it is.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I'll teach you to stalk me, you motherfucker! What the fuck? Jesus!
So there you have it. What once was a legend has now been proven as fact. Through the heroic and sacrificial efforts of Johnny Jupiter, we have captured the undisputable proof that the Lobster Boy walks among us. So the next time you're strolling through Rock Creek Park, remember the valiant efforts of Johnny Jupiter and be cautious of your step, because the Lobster Boy is real and should be feared and avoided, but above all else, respected.